Hey, this is Dave.
Matt.
And Zap.
And welcome to the Vintage Cinema Review,
where every week we review some of our favorite films from the past.
Hey, there ain't no late fees here.
Silence is golden. And be kind. Rewind. I never tire of that sound. How's it going, Dave?
What's going on?
What are you popping in there today?
This is Con Air. Yeah.
Con Air.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is a 90s throwback classic. I see that we are light one fellow cellar dweller today, but we have an addition today. What do we got? What's going on here? Who is this guy?
Yeah, hey, I'm Snowman.
Hey,
Snowman.
Sean the Snowman.
That's right.
Welcome, Sean.
Yeah, welcome.
Hey, good to be here in the basement with you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, alas, Matt is otherwise occupied, but the show must go on.
That's right. Yeah, Matt's got work schedule stuff and all that, so
yeah.
We wanted to keep spitting out the V.C.R., so here we are. So, Zap, this movie was recommended?
This movie was requested and recommended by a big fan of the show. Big shout out to Kelly Murphy. Kelly, I hope you enjoy this one. This one is for you and for, anyone else who likes Con Air.
What's up, Kelly? Thank you. Thank you for picking that. You know, Zap, when you told me a girl wanted us to review Con Air, I thought we were going to cover hair dryers.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
And that makes complete sense.
Yep. So, Sean, this movie, Con Air, you saw it back in the day?
Yeah, I checked it out back in the day. I think got it from Blockbusters back in the day.
That's probably where actually I saw it at the theater. We were talking about that, but
I for sure did not go to the theater to see this, but I for damn sure rented this. I remember vividly renting this.
Yeah, my wife reminded me this was a date movie we went out.
For sure.
That was the first year that we were dating, and this was a movie that we went to see that summer. So
nice.
Definitely saw it in the theater. But yeah, so Con Air, rated R, 1 hour, 50-minute runtime on this. Release date was June 6, 1997. So like I said, summer movie. I remember that. This was directed by Simon West, written by Scott Rosenberg, and produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Budget on this, $75 million. Box office, $224 million.
Oh my, dang. That's a good juice is worth the squeeze there.
For
man.
sure. I contributed to that.
That's a fantastic return.
That shock you on that one, Sean?
Not really.
No.
It was pretty popular back in the day, I think. But
Yeah.
101 million of it was in the U.S. The rest was worldwide, I think.
Oh, for real? Okay. That makes sense.
Oh.
Yeah.
So funny you said that because this is like a fun fact, but I'll talk about it in the beginning. So over in France, this was called Dumb People in the Sky. If it would have been called Con Air.
Huh.
That's how it would translate.
That's fantastic.
So instead they called it Wings of Hell.
Oh.
Because I guess con is like slang for dumb people in France. So over there, that's what it was called. So
Well, whatever, Frenchie.
Yeah,
I got to say, I love, and watching this again, I was reminded of the joys of watching a movie that opens with being done by being a Jerry Bruckheimer film.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the credits, like you see it all the time for whomever the production company is or whomever. The Bruckheimer start is, you can't, it's unmistakable. Was you see just, you are like in the driver's seat and you're just driving down the highway, and then lightning strikes, and then this tree all of a sudden grows where the lightning struck. Dude, you're in for a good movie.
When that comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was filmed between July 1996 and September of 1996, September 28th. And filmed in Nevada, Utah, and Los Angeles.
Nice.
So that's pretty much all I have for that. So I'll turn it over to Zap for the cast.
Yeah, all right. So there were a lot of people in this movie. I did pare it down a little bit, but, I mean, there's still some hitters in this. So away we go with the cast of Con Air, which includes, but is not limited to, Nicolas Cage as Cameron Poe, John Cusack as U.S. Marshal Vince Larkin, John Malkovich as Cyrus the Virus Grissom, Steve Buscemi as Garland Green, also known as the Marietta Mangler, Ving Rhames as Nathan Diamond Dog Jones, Colm Meaney as DEA agent Duncan Malloy, Mykelti Williamson as Mike Baby-O Odell, Rachel Tacotin as Officer Sally Bishop, Monica Potter as Trisha Poe, Dave Chappelle as Joe Pinball Parker, M.C. Gainey as Earl Swamp Thing Williams, John Roselius as Deputy Marshal Skip Divers, Renoli Santiago as Ramon Sally Can't Dance Martinez, Danny Trejo as Johnny 23 Baca, Jesse Borrego as Francisco Cindino, Nick Chinland as William Billy Bedlam Bedford, and Jose Zuniga as DEA agent Willie Sims.
I totally forgot Dave Chappelle was in this.
Totally. Completely.
Did you remember that, Snowman?
No, I didn't. So David Chappelle's from Silver Spring, Maryland. That's my hometown. So.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Never met the guy, but I thought maybe I'd see him cruising the streets or something.
You never know, man.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's a suburb of D.C., right?
Yeah, right outside.
Yeah, because I remember he did like a stand-up show in D.C., and he was talking about like being from that area, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, but I don't know if I wasn't aware Dave Chappelle was at that time when Con Air came out. Maybe it's one of those deals.
I don't think Chappelle was who Chappelle, he was not the Chappelle that we know at that point. I mean, this is 97, and Chappelle's show stuff didn't hit until early 2000.
2000. When did Half Baked come out?
No idea.
Yeah, because that's the one I
Never
first saw him in, that Half Baked movie. But yeah, that's pretty cool, man. But yeah, Chappelle's the one on here that I didn't remember. But he was a cool part.
For sure. Oh, for sure.
I wonder if that helped springboard his career, you know.
It might have.
Because that was a major movie, you know.
A big deal. Yeah, it was a big time movie it still is, but at the time, yeah. And this is one of those movies that I haven't seen since back then.
Yeah.
So this is cool to watch. I'm glad she recommended it because I was just thinking about this. A lot of times back in the day, and we talk about this all the time, you'd catch a movie because it's on rerun, you know, or just on. But I don't really sit and watch network show or like networks or, you know, where they'll just be replaying a movie.
Sure.
I don't just scroll through channels or anything. So,
Right.
Yeah, but it was cool to watch again.
Well, I guess with Matt out, we're gonna need an extra special guest to give the synopsis. So we got just for the synopsis, our good friend Don came down to the old basement here, and Don, why don't you give us a quick read through?
From the hit-making producers of The Rock and Crimson Tide comes the hard-hitting blockbuster Con Air, starring Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, and John Malkovich. A prisoner on his way to freedom faces impossible odds when the maximum security transport plane he's on is skyjacked by the most vicious criminals in the country, led by the infamous murderer Cyrus, the Virus Grissom. Buckle up and hang tight as explosive, high-flying action soars to new heights and delivers high-caliber motion picture entertainment. We present to you Con Air.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I mean, Don, you have the voice of an angel. So I think it's almost like your voice was made to announce movies.
Yeah, I think I've heard it before. I don't know though.
Somewhere.
So Sean, now's the time. I guess we'll steer through the movie. You ready?
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, let's go for it, Zap.
All right. Now, I will do my best, but I'm going to need the both of you to help me through. So away we go. Decorated Army Ranger Cameron Poe returns home after being honorably discharged. Not more than a few hours after his return, he's attacked by a group of local drunks, envious of him for having a hot wife, Tricia, who happens to be carrying his unborn daughter. During the scuffle, Cameron, thanks to his Army training, accidentally kills a man with an uppercut and is soon sentenced to 7 to 10 years in prison for manslaughter. After 8 long years and countless correspondence shared between him, his wife, and his daughter, Cameron is finally released on parole. He's never met his daughter, avoiding the shame of her having to see him while he's in prison. But today, he's a free man, and he's got a one-way ticket aboard the Justice Prisoner Air Transportation System, affectionately nicknamed Con Air. This guy just gets being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Dude so he served his full term, his commission as an Army Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Gets out, he goes home, and he goes to see his old lady who's working. Like, she's just finishing up her shift at the bar. Hey, man, look, long time no see. Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Man just goes in, and there, what does he see? There's these 3 drunk jagoffs who I'm sure for years have just been oogling over his wife. And, whatever. Time goes on. At the end of the day, they jump the dude.
And they're worried about Nam. That was like 20 years ago.
Right. Right. Come on. Yeah. I don't know. Just a shame, man. Just a shame.
So I had to go back and look at the movie because I didn't understand him coming back I thought, okay, maybe he just went through boot camp or something. But his wife was 3 months pregnant when he came back. And so I was like, I was trying to do the math, like, how did that happen? But then if you go back and watch the very beginning, they were away on a special mission, and they had just got back from that. So I don't know. I figured maybe the mission was like a month or two, you know?
Yeah.
Could have been. I mean, yeah, he for damn sure, but it's interesting you should say that. I never really thought about that. I mean, holy shit, is this my kid? But,
right,
yeah.
that's what I was like, is this drunk guy, is he the
dad.
real father, you know? Maybe he was with I don't know.
Could be.
So
I'm sure they get, I mean, anybody who's anywhere in the service, you know, you're going to get time away. You're going to get leave time. You're going to get, you know, conjugals or whatever. I would imagine.
And we get that song right off the bat.
We
big
do.
Song, yeah.
We do get that song, which we'll talk about that song.
Yeah. They started, I forgot about that too. I didn't know that song was from this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of controversy around that song too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we can talk about that in a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to be a fun fact-laden fun fact.
And we get Clean Cut Cage to start out.
We do get Clean Cut Cage to start out.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. So, dude, oh my God. So, look, dude's just trying to protect his wife, save his own life. What a jerky decision by that judge. But you're a trained, you know, you're a honed weapon that was trained by the, you know, the United States Army. You know, you should take better care of yourself and control your temper. So I'm going to give you 7 to 10 years for protecting your and your wife's and your unborn child's life.
Right. You would think you'd be a little lighter on the sentence.
You would think. You would think. His prison sentence, you know, not for nothing, for 8 years, that blasted by in like 30 seconds.
It did, and I wrote down here he had some Cooler Ranch Doritos there.
Noted.
And the other one was, and I don't know if I've ever ate these, but they're Snow Puffs.
Those pink things.
Yeah.
So that's a chocolate cake inside of a marshmallow coating, a puffy marshmallow coating that's then somehow turned pink. Like, I don't know if that's a coconut on the outside or whatever it is.
Probably can't have those anymore with the new laws on dyes and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Red dye number 5.
That whole scene, I got to go on the record. I didn't care for this movie. I'm not a Nicolas Cage fan. Never have been. But him writing his wife, the dialogue while he's in prison, you know, the whole sentence he's writing his daughter who was born and his wife. So for me, that whole dialogue, because of the accent from where he was, it just bothered me. He's like, "Hey, Trisha," you know, it's just as he's sitting there in his bunk and it's going back and forth and he's reading the letters.
Right.
And I was joking with my wife. I was like, "Dear Trisha, I dropped the soap in the shower today. You know, I don't like women no more." It was just slow banter, you know.
Yeah, you're right, dude. That was a bad.
God damn, that's funny.
That was a bad accent.
So look, I have it, and I'm sure we will cover this greatly when we get to our final review. But Sean, I gotta agree with you. So I think he could have done a bit better, probably a lot better, on choosing his accent or choosing, you know, really from whence he came. He really did basically, like, I think of this. His mind's, you know, for a guy that's an Army Ranger and a guy that's, you know, pretty good and smart and everything at what he does, I think like the character he was trying to pull out, like I was reminded, I'm rambling. He reminded me a lot of like Forrest Gump.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like he was combining Forrest Gump with, I think he like invoked back to his role in Raising Arizona. Like there's some kind of weird mashup of his character from Raising Arizona and Forrest Gump. But it was, sorry, Nick, you could have done better.
No doubt. And Snowman, what'd you think of those magazines, Off-Road and the car magazines?
I had
all
all
Snowman's
those,
into all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I saw the Off-Road hanging on his wall or his cell wall, you know, of the big trucks and stuff. And that was definitely something that was around back in the 90s. You know,
don't you have a custom truck like that too?
I have a 50 Chevy, 5-window.
Nice.
That's banging.
Yeah. So, but it stays in the garage. But going back to the Forrest Gump reference, his cellmate Odell was Bubba Gump.
That's correct.
Yes.
So it's cool that you had referenced that. But where were they from? Was it Louisiana? Was it Mississippi? I couldn't tell.
I think he flew. So when he floated in after getting released he's finished his term with the Army Rangers. The boat landed in Alabama.
And why did he come off?
I think it was
why
Mobile.
did he come off a tugboat?
Yeah, to give dramatic effect.
Just maybe hitch a ride across the bay or something.
Could have been.
Yeah, I guess the Army Rangers weren't paying so well back then.
Back in the day, yeah.
Well, but despite the fact, look, I got buddies that have been in and out of the Army, and they will pay for anything. I mean, really, the Army will definitely take care of you. It is surprising, but maybe they'll only get you to like a hub.
Yeah, no,
right. Like they'll get you to the airport. From there, you got to find your way. So maybe this goes to show just how podunk his wife's job was and where it was located. I mean, the dude had to get off a boat to get to the bar.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was very observant. I didn't even catch that. Yeah.
And then in the fight scene, they're fighting. There's like an oil rig in the background.
Yeah.
I was like, "What? Is there oil rigs on the docks?" Maybe. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
I might be reading into it too much.
No, dude. Hey.
For effect, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, on we go. In a stroke of terrible luck, Cameron's flight just happens to be chock full of the worst prisoners who are being transported to a different prison. For example, we have the likes of Johnny 23 Baca, a serial rapist, Billy Bedlam, who, after finding his wife in bed with another man, drove 4 towns over to kill her parents, her brother, her sister, and their dog. Nathan Jones, aka Diamond Dog, a former general of the Black Guerrillas who was sent to prison for killing dozens of NRA members by detonating explosives at one of their meetings. And Cyrus Grissom, aka Cyrus the Virus, who, by the age of 14, had been found guilty of kidnapping, robbery, murder, and extortion. Now 39 years old, he spent 25 years of his life in prison and has since gone on to earn his Juris Doctorate while in there, along with killing 11 fellow inmates, inciting 3 riots, and escaping twice. The DEA has also involved itself in the flight by placing an undercover agent, Willie Sims, on board posing as a prisoner in hopes of extracting information from another prisoner, Francisco Cindino, a narco-terrorist with strong ties with drug cartels, who is to be collected later at the plane's first stop. Not long into the flight, Diamond Dog and Cyrus the Virus make their way out of their handcuffs by using picks they'd hidden amongst themselves. Another prisoner, Joe Pinball Parker, sets one of the other prisoners ablaze using a match and fuel he'd smuggled onto the plane. This distraction affords Diamond Dog and Cyrus the Virus all the chaos they need to ultimately take over the plane. Sims, the DEA agent posing as a prisoner, breaks his charade and attempts to retake the plane for the good guys. His attempt fails, and he's killed in the process.
2 things I wrote down during this segment here is the Cusack oversized suit. Like, it just reminded me back in the 90s, like everything was kind of oversized, and baggy. Now we're all like form fitting and stuff.
Yep. So, dude, I definitely saw that, and I remember so if I graduated college in '98 and I go into my professional world here, I remember buying baggy suits, bigger suits. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then the other thing I wrote down was, and Snowman, you're a computer guy too, the bad graphics on the, like when they were like, when he was typing up about each prisoner and it would show like their picture and stuff like that. Like I forgot how like far we've come with graphics and everything else like that.
That was very reminiscent of, like pulling up the profiles or whatever in the first Mission Impossible movie.
Yes.
Very, very similar to that. Very reminiscent of that.
Very PlayStation 1-ish.
For sure.
For sure.
So these guys, they smuggled, was it just like pins?
Yeah, it looked like
in their skin,
some kind of needle or pin underneath their palm, in the palm of their hand, like in the skin and stuff.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, so
pretty smart. Now as I'm watching this and I see Dave Chappelle's character, fucking Pinball. So he's pulling out a string out of that. So he had swallowed a baggie, and in that was a little canister of fuel and a match.
Mm-hmm.
So it is interesting. There was only one match. Like, dude, what happens if you jacked it up? Like, wouldn't you just pack 2 matches just in case?
Yeah, it makes sense.
But I was thinking, like, how would he have gotten that down? I'm sorry. I know that he could have gotten it down, and that's fine. But how could he keep the string available for him to pull the stuff out of his like esophagus or his stomach or whatever, when all of the officers and the guards, they're checking their mouths? I mean, that was clearly evidenced in this. Like, they're making them stick out their tongues and, swirl it around, and they're checking down their throats and shit like that. So how could he have
Yeah, good point. I don't know. Snowman, what you got on that?
I don't know how he did it, to be honest with you. But I was watching that scene. I was like, oh, that's pretty foul, to pull that back up like he did. Yeah.
I'm surprised he just didn't put it in his prison wallet. Not for nothing.
True. So how do you think these guys all coordinated this? Because they were all from all over the place. So that's what my biggest thing with this scene was, like, these prisoners are all on the same page, basically. But, like, we're going to take this plane down.
So everybody got onto the bad guys that just got onto the plane that count, like the first in charge and second in charge. They came from the same prison, and so did Billy Bedlam. So Cyrus came from the same prison. Diamond Dog, aka Ving Rhames, came from the same prison. So did again Billy Bedlam. So did Chappelle. So all these guys are on this flight that were just picked up at this one prison.
So they were the three kind of. I got you.
Yeah.
Because I think a couple of them, they had no idea what was going on, like the guy in the cage, the real bad guy with the yellow teeth.
Oh yeah.
There were certainly this was just a plan amongst whomever, but I would imagine, like, the less you know, the
better.
The better, because now you get too many chefs, it's going to ruin the pot or whatever that goddamn phrase is.
Was the drug lord that they were going to hop a ride with
Francisco Cindino?
Was he in the same prison as?
No.
No. Okay. So
he gets picked up, and he's gonna be picked up at their first stop.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So how did they arrange all that? Was it through that law firm letter that he had received?
Yep.
Okay, Billy Ray Cyrus's cousin. Right.
That's right.
Right.
Billy Ray Cyrus, the virus.
Right, and he had his own virus too.
Yeah.
Achy breaky heart.
That's right. Oh man,
that's right.
Sean is clever today.
On fire.
But we didn't have to wear masks for that virus, right?
No, that's for sure.
Thank God.
That was fortunate.
Sure. Fauci wasn't around then. So.
No, thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
which is a new movie, by the way. I encourage anyone and everyone to look into that. It's
Fauci movie?
It's by Angel Studios, and it's called Thank You,
Oh, I did see
Dr.
that.
Fauci.
It's like a documentary thing.
Yeah, of how that whole bullshit went down and how it was just pushed on us and just nonsense. Absolutely nonsense.
He could have been on this plane then.
Oh, man. Could have been.
He should have.
I would have loved for him to be.
Yeah.
Would have loved it.
But yeah, that explains that, because I just thought it was, like, very coordinated.
Yeah.
With the, and the fact that they were all able to get the pins. Now, that reminds me of back to the movie we just did, Silence of the Lambs, where he snuck that off of like a pen that picked like a lock.
That's correct.
I mean? Yeah.
Smart as shit, though, to jam that into your skin.
No doubt, yeah.
Do you think that they took the scene with Anthony Hopkins when he was playing a Hannibal Lecter and kind of took that a little further with the prisoner they brought in?
When we get there, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In fact, why don't we get there?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
The dastardly plan is for the plane to stay its course, land in Carson City as scheduled for its pickups and drop-offs, leave the plane's transponder in Carson City, then fly to an unknown location. 6 prisoners are to be dropped off. Unfortunately, 3 of them are dead. Cameron volunteers to pose as one of these 3 dead prisoners when the plane lands. His intent is to immediately alert the authorities, thereby saving the lives of all prison guards and law enforcement on the plane, and the life of his longtime friend and cellmate, Mike Odell, who's aboard the plane and in desperate need of insulin. He swiftly changes his mind to remain on the plane, however, when he finds that all who are to be dropped off are bound and gagged. That is to say, by the time law enforcement would remove the gags, the plane would have been long gone and Cameron's friend, Odell, would be dead. The plane's transponder is stashed in a random plane at the airport. The prisoner drop-off and pickup goes as planned. Amongst the prisoners who've been added to the plane's passengers, a few of note include Francisco Cindino, the narco-terrorist with ties to Colombian drug cartels, Earl Swamp Thing Williams, who has piloting abilities and will take over for the former pilot, and, last but not least, Garland Green, a psychopath who butchered more than 30 people in a fashion akin to Hannibal Lecter. In the meantime, guards at Cyrus the Virus's former prison perform a standard sweep of his room. During their search, they find evidence of the plan to hijack the plane, along with a bomb that kills everyone there but one man, U.S. Marshal Vince Larkin. Back to the plane at Carson City, the authorities discover the switcheroo and realize the prisoners are posing as the guards. But it's too late. The The plane takes off as authorities chase in hot pursuit. So yeah, Sean, for damn sure, the Steve Buscemi's character, Garland Green, that is not, I'm pretty sure, and Dave, pop in on this, that's not just Hannibal Lecter. I think that was like a composite of 5 or 6, like terrible things. But yeah, Hannibal Lecter's character, that was the inspiration for this. The outfit, the mask over the face, you know, him sitting in his chair, nobody wants to get close to him, so they got to reach with the keys, like on sticks,
like Jurassic Park or something.
Yeah,
correct,
much,
exactly,
like a T-Rex.
Even the music they brought in on that when they were bringing them up, they were bringing in like a.
Oh yeah,
and
it's so menacing, like Terminator music.
Exactly, yeah.
And those guys had the guards had to use like 2 keys. They each had a key to unlock to like release them. Like it was way over the top. But yeah, I think I was definitely influenced by that. Silence of the Lambs, and I think it was like Ed Gein and a bunch of other serial killers. I think it's in the fun facts.
Yeah,
and we'll get there. But yeah, how convenient that there's a sandstorm or whatever was going on there.
Decidedly convenient.
Yeah, because otherwise, I mean, I don't know how they would have been able to do that. You know, when they got off the plane, they probably would have checked everybody out, but they were just like kind of rushing everybody.
Right.
And the other thing, that tape recorder thing that guy had, like in '97, there wasn't like better technology to like record.
Agreed. I mean, they gave him, that was just basically like a metal Altoid box, a larger oversized Altoid box with reel-to-reel spinning in there. Come on.
Yeah.
Maybe just for cinematic.
You're probably right, yeah. But
it was definitely oversized.
And there was no hiding that, you know. Like
it's
it was
huge.
You know?
It's like, why not take a boombox?
That thing, dude, that thing was, I mean, that was like straight out of Dr. No. Like literally the first James Bond movie of all time. Spy technology is what they had incorporated here in 1997. Come on now.
I'm all for vintage.
Come on.
Vintage audio and stuff, but come on now.
Fair.
Give me a break.
That's fair.
But yeah, and I didn't bring this up in the beginning, but why are we transporting prisoners by plane? Seems expensive. Just put them on a train or something. You know what I mean?
Look,
you put these guys in a plane, it's costing taxpayer money.
So that led me down the trail. I'm like, did they really do that? And yeah, they really
they do that.
Yeah,
they still do. I mean, such a thing still exists.
Not in that fashion. They, from what I read, it's more. I mean, that's obviously for Hollywood, but they take them on like 747s, and they have their own fleet of planes. Believe it or not, the Department of Corrections to fly them around, and for extradition. You know,
I'd put them on horses. Yeah, I mean, just drag it out.
I'm with you.
Just make them walk.
Yeah, exactly.
Chain gang.
Now, understand there isn't exactly, you know, you're not checking the internet here for flights on the prison transport. I mean, what they do is they wait for the next time. Let's say they do it, I don't know, quarterly or maybe monthly if you're lucky, but you're transferring prisoners back and forth. Again, as Sean had aptly pointed out, like, I mean, you have extradition or going from even just from state to state to state. I mean, we've covered in our podcasts, you know, so many serial killers that, you know, if they kill 2 people in this state and then the other state and then the other state, well, every state wants their pound of flesh. So you got to move these guys back and forth. And thus, when you get enough people that need to be moved from one prison to another, they incorporate this Con Air, this plane.
I wonder if it's like the NFL, they trade, like, oh, I want that guy, the killer. You know, I need more serial killers in my prison. You know what I mean? I'll trade you. You give me a murder.
Yeah, for sure.
What was Poe doing in another state? Wasn't he convicted and tried by the state he murdered that guy in? You know, in
Mississippi, was it, or Alabama?
Yeah. So what was he doing in another state?
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe he got shuffled.
Maybe
just in case.
Maybe the Department of Corrections is federal and not really state. I don't
could
know
be
the level of that.
It's entirely
possible. A federal prison, it makes sense.
Maybe once you're in the system, you're just part of the federal system.
Right.
Which I think Department of Corrections is federal, so probably that would make sense.
Yeah, they're going to shuffle you wherever there's a spot.
Yeah, and they said in the beginning that Poe was being sent back to the prison he originated from to be released.
Okay.
So and that's why he was just jumping flight, you know, that way.
This sounds akin to what you were saying, Dave, of just, you know, they're playing cards. They're just trading. It's the NFL, they're trading.
Yeah,
you know, I got a supermax prison here. I got a low ball guy that's occupying a seat that shouldn't be here. We got to get him out of here.
I guess you lose prisoners if they get released. You got to backfill.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like your starting lineup in your fantasy football team.
That's it, man.
You got your bench and you got your starters.
Not doing too good in that. So,
let's see what else. Dave Chappelle, Pinball in this. I thought he was quite good as he was trying to pick up that one chick. As he gets caught basically trying to put the transponder in another plane.
Yeah.
And he just starts rapping with this other chick, and all of a sudden, oh shit, I got to go.
I got to roll. Well, did we see Lemmy yet?
So Lemmy has landed. Lemmy has entered the plane. That is Earl Swamp Thing Williams, who is the guy with the pilot abilities. And
did you get Lemmy vibes from
100%?
Motorhead?
He absolutely looks like Lemmy.
Yeah.
But as Sean had aptly pointed out, this is one of the bad guys from Lost.
Lost.
Yeah, so I was checking out. I was like,
He was Benjamin Linus's right-hand man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was checking out. I was like, where do I know this guy? Is that Lemmy from Motorhead? And it wasn't Lemmy. So, but it bothered me to the point where I had to. And then finally it clicked. Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, he's from Lost.
Does he look like Lemmy in Lost, or is he different look?
He's much older in Lost. Well, not much older, but he's certainly older in Lost when Lost started, which I think was only like maybe 5 years or so.
Yeah, it wasn't too long
after this started. But he was, by the time Lost started, his hair was cut. It was still a little long, but not like Lemmy long.
Yeah, I think the stash is what was given him the
yeah,
correct.
For sure.
That's the Lemmy vibe, was the goatee. The mustache for sure. But in Lost, I mean, his hair had completely grayed. He definitely was showing more of his age.
I got to watch that show. I'm sleeping on that.
Listen, I can promise you, there is no better dramatic series ever created for television than Lost. It is the best. Absolutely, without question, hands down, the best dramatic show of all time.
I'm going to get on that.
Yeah, it was good for sure.
He liked it.
John Locke finding the hatch, and then you have to wait. I think that was the season finale or something.
It was the first season finale, yep.
And so he was like, he found this hatch in the woods. He dug it up, and this light lights up, and then you have to wait like until the next season. That cliffhanger, it tore me up.
Gives you something to talk about.
But I did, like I said earlier, I wanted to go live on that island so bad I wanted to be the Dharma mechanic working on their Volkswagen buses, back in the 70s.
You need to understand, Sean, every time I get on a plane, and I mean every time, I hope that it crashes on the island or on a deserted island, and I would absolutely just start my own Dharma. I swear to God.
I think we need to start a Lost podcast.
Dude.
Like, we could probably do it with
God damn, that show was so good. Man, I want to be on that island.
So for me, I love Lost until the last episode. I couldn't follow it. I had to Google it and see what it was about, because I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. I felt like during the series they were switching writers or something was going on. Like the storyline didn't seem to, like, I thought, okay, when they first crashed, I thought there was like dinosaurs or something crazy in the woods.
Right.
And then it just went a whole different direction where I wasn't expecting it. So it was great, I thought.
It got you.
Yeah.
It had that last episode, had they not done it had the church not been the central location where everybody was coming and going, I would have been vastly confused. But having the Christian background, Catholic background, yeah, it was. These guys were in purgatory, just waiting to go. Anyways, back to the movie.
By the way, I did 9 years in Catholic school as well. So.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I got on the Con Air.
You're on the level then.
I got on the Con Air bus to get out of the Catholic
yeah, right.
regime.
I hear you, man.
That's better than the short bus.
Sometimes.
Now in the air, the prisoner's new plan is to land at Lerner Airfield, a deserted airstrip, and transfer to another plane waiting there. Meanwhile, back on the ground, a conflict arises between Marshal Larkin and DEA agent Duncan Malloy. Larkin believes that Poe stayed on the plane for a reason and might be an ally in bringing the escaped convicts to justice. Agent Malloy couldn't care less and simply wants to have the plane shot down. Back on the plane, Cameron and Diamond Dog discover Pinball Parker's body stuck within one of the plane's landing gears. He'd gotten caught in it as he was running to the plane to try to catch up with it as it was leaving Carson City. Before pushing the body out of the plane, Cameron writes a note on Pinball's shirt to Marshal Larkin, alerting him of their destination at Lerner Airfield. Upon receiving word of the prisoner's destination, Larkin swiftly makes his way to the airfield, taking Agent Malloy's classic and speedy Corvette. Agent Malloy is otherwise occupied on a wild goose chase. He's in a helicopter pursuing the random plane into which Con Air's transponder had been placed. Back to the convict's plane. Nosy old Billy Bedlam went digging around in the plane's cargo hold and discovered Cameron's secret. that he'd been released on parole that very day. Cameron makes short work of him, killing him and keeping his secret safe. Larkin arrives at the airfield moments before Con Air lands and hides himself and the Corvette. When the plane finally does land, the convicts' next steps are to hop into Cindino's private jet as soon as it arrives and make their way to Mexico. Meanwhile, Cameron's next step is to figure out a way to save his friend Odell's life and the life of a female guard who remains a hostage on the plane.
So could you be down in like a, I don't know what altitude they were at, but could you do that? Go down into like a cargo area where they had exposure to the, the air and everything like that.
Sure.
And they pushed the body out. Wouldn't you get sucked out too?
No.
No?
You got to be way high up to do that stuff.
Like 30,000 square feet.
So, yeah, so
30,000 feet.
These cargo planes, look, I'm no scientist, but like I get that the air gets thin up there, but it's not as bad as as the movies have made it out to be, right? Like if a window opens up, oh my God, everybody's going to get sucked out. No.
Okay.
All it does is just shift the pressure.
I got you.
Like there'll be a second where, it's like your ears pop, but then everything stabilizes.
So you could hang out up there. I heard a podcast, this kid tried to stow away on a plane in landing gear.
Sure.
And he ended up dying, obviously, up in the air and stuff like that. But they found his body like 700 miles away. And this is before the internet and all that. And they weren't able to they were looking in local high schools, like, where'd this kid come from? Right. Or here he jumped on a plane, kind of held, hidden that landing gear and it fell out. Died once they hit, certain altitude, and then he died. And when the landing gear disengaged, he fell out. So, but I know they talked about that, once you hit, because of the temperature and everything else like that.
Correct.
But I guess if you're in a cargo area and there's only a small little area that's open, it wouldn't be as bad.
Well, I mean, I got to imagine if you're climbing up into a plane by virtue of the landing gear, right, one of those little wheels, you're probably going to want to get the hell out of that landing gear and go to a different area once you get inside the plane. That's just a hunch.
Right. And this Snowman, you'll comment on this. So Volvos are the safest cars, right?
Yeah, they're built like tanks back then. That's what their claim to fame was.
So that body fell on a Volvo. Did you see that Volvo wagon?
Did.
Yeah.
Every time that dude gets his car washed, a bird shits on it.
It's supposed to be good luck, his wife said. Remember?
Right. And
I had never heard that.
Yeah, I know about it, but not a scratch on them. They seem to be okay.
Yeah.
The car got jacked, but it handled it pretty well. That's a good commercial for Volvo. You know what I mean? Their safety.
It is, man. It really is, man. But that you got to think about that, man. I get it that we're all fleshy and soft on the outside, but nonetheless, we're 100 and some pounds, some more than 200 pounds. You're coming from that kind of altitude, just falling down that's a big weight. So the way that affected that Volvo when it hit, that actually made sense. That totally made sense. Versus a movie like Untouchables or some shit where somebody just jumps off a roof and hits the roof of a car. Okay, that's going to be different versus 30,000 feet.
Right. That's well, they even say that about shit coming from space, like a little, if it makes it through the atmosphere, you know what I mean? How much damage it would make from the speed of it. But also that the Corvette, so that was what was it, 67?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you see the other car that he could have picked was a GTI, an 80s, mid-80s Volkswagen?
I did, but that GTI was not as tricked out as we've seen GTIs made. That was called the bottom of the barrel, and I don't know, was that a GTI?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a Rabbit GTI.
Okay, yeah. I just thought it was a Rabbit. I wasn't sure whether it was a GTI.
No, yeah, it was. So what kind of engine that's probably like a 4-cylinder.
In the GTI? Yeah. So I used to work with a guy, when he went out to Summit Point, he had a road racing crew, and he would race Volkswagen GTIs.
Oh, for real?
So he probably had the 4-cylinder single cam in there.
Yeah. So he wouldn't have made it there in time, probably in that, or you think?
I don't know. We souped them up pretty good, pretty good back then. We put cams in them and stuff and roll cages, and they took on some 911s with them.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you could soup them up with some big cams and
Dang.
stuff. But probably not that one.
No, that one looked stock. I had GTI, I had a 92 and a 98 GTI, but my 92 was only an 8-valve, so it wasn't like the 16-valve or whatever. But yeah, that Corvette was pretty sweet, though.
We were talking earlier about the movie where how do they coordinate this amongst different prisons and whatnot. Sean, you had aptly pointed out, was this the thing with the lawyer in Colombia, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah. So this is that segment of the movie where we discover how this all went down. This is where when the prison guards are going into Cyrus's old vault, his old cell, to see what's what, and just clean up, maybe mop the place for the next guy, they discover that fake cinder block, and they discover all the paperwork and all the coding and all the coding that helped, again, this deciphering between a Colombian lawyer and Cyrus, and of course Sindino.
The other thing that's crazy too, back to the car stuff, is that Corvette in age was about the same as if a 97 car now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it always blows me away. And when I watch these older movies, like, to me, back in 97, that Corvette was like so old, versus now, if you tell me, oh, I had a 97 Corvette, I'm like, that's not that old.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean, just like the jump in years, because
That's just your mind messing with you.
that's 30 years, 67 to 97. And what are we, 20? We're almost there, 28 years, right?
I mean,
97, yeah.
Halloween just recently passed us, right? And so
Right.
Halloween the movie is being aired.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Halloween the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're watching that, you'll see first original year Mustangs and whatever driving around. That movie came out in what, 79?
78, yeah. I think
78.
Yeah.
Okay, so to anyone else, that could have been just some piece of shit, somebody's old beater Mustang, which now far, far, far into the future is worth countless dollars.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, it's funny how that shift happens. Cameron breaks away from the rest of the convicts in hopes of finding a syringe to administer Odell's insulin. During his search, he finds Sindino's jet, which had been there the whole time in hiding. Sindino's henchmen are there as well, and just as they're about to make short work of Cameron, Larkin arrives to save the day. After a short exchange, Cameron returns to his search. Sindino breaks away from the rest of the convicts in hopes of escaping in his hidden jet. During his attempt, Larkin uses a crane to stop the plane, critically damaging it. As fuel from the jet spills everywhere, Cyrus the Virus and the rest of the convicts arrive. Cyrus, furious with Sindino, ignites the fuel, destroying the plane and incinerating Sindino. Meanwhile, Agent Malloy and the authorities are on their way via helicopters. The National Guard is on its way by land and closing in fast. But Cyrus and the convicts have found a cache of weapons in the cargo hold of the plane and are ready for their arrival. While all of that's happening, Garland Green, the psychopath they collected in Carson City, has since strolled away and found himself a young girl playing alone in her backyard. Fighting his urges to kill her in a most despicable way, he, instead, decides to join her and play along for a bit. The National Guard arrives, but they get caught in a trap set by the convicts. Most of the National Guardsmen are killed before Larkin arrives to once again save the day. Meanwhile, Cameron has since found the necessary syringe in an old medical kit and returns to the plane to save Odell's life. The defeated convicts make their way back to the plane and soon take off. Garland Green is aboard as well, and we see the little girl he'd encountered waving goodbye on the ground as the plane departs. Which was good.
Yeah, no doubt.
I can tell you, I remember watching this like the first time and just thinking like, oh God, what's going to happen to this girl? Come on, we can't turn this into that. Like we just can't.
Like a Dahmer series or something, like real dark. Yeah.
It's funny looking back and you see, Buscemi has done so many different roles since. Mm-hmm. Or even like, especially when he was in Mr. Deeds, the Adam Sandler movie. So he was just this crazy, cross-eyed, silly dude. Just a silly, silly character in that. Versus in this, he's there to play a psychopath. Like, I wonder, I don't want to say was he the right person to play the role? Because, he's got the jacked up teeth and he's got the weird look and he's got the bug eyes. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, just knowing his persona, I don't know. They might have been able to pick somebody better to play a serial killer.
Yeah, somebody a little more sinister, I think, would have fit the role better.
I agree. I think the only thing I've probably known him from at this point in 97 was Reservoir Dogs. I don't know if I would have known him in anything. I don't know what he did after Reservoir Dogs. I'm sure he's did movies between 92 and 97, but Reservoir Dogs was the first time I saw Buscemi in anything.
Yeah.
But, this movie, too, like, nonstop action. Like, I forgot about how it's just, like, scene after scene after. Like, it just doesn't stop.
Right.
And I guess this is Bruckheimer. Was this the first like Bruckheimer type action movie like that?
I don't know if this was the first, but I mean, I can tell you since then, anytime I see a Jerry Bruckheimer film is coming, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
It was so. Speaking, we were talking about that Corvette. How hilarious for that Corvette to somehow, some way, get stuck on the that tow rope or whatever, as it's departing. You know, I mean, it was hooked to that whole rope was hooked to a cement pylon sticking out of the ground that Cameron had done to try to slow the plane down or somehow jack up the plane as it's taking off. Of course, Cyrus, you know, amazingly doesn't shoot the rope, but instead somehow blasts his way through the concrete, which lets the rope escape. And then so as the rope is trailing away, it catches the hook of it, catches the Corvette, Malloy's Corvette. Now all of a sudden they're towing a Corvette. I mean, I guess that's possible.
I mean, the Vet was pretty light because they were fiberglass, you know, so I guess, I mean,
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
magic, you know, but it...
So were they fiberglass?
Yeah.
Back
yeah.
in the 60s?
Yeah.
Always have been. I remember my dad had a shirt. My dad owned like 3 or 4 Corvettes.
I thought they were steel.
No, fiberglass.
He had a T-shirt. This is back in the 70s. My dad had a T-shirt. It said, wrap your ass in fiberglass.
Oh.
That was like the...
Yeah, that was the slogan for
Yeah,
it back
yeah,
then.
it was, yeah.
They were kind of ahead of their time, too, because a friend of mine had one, and they had fiber optic for the turn signal, like going up to the front fenders for the turn signals.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, which, you know, fiber optic back then was really not heard of back then. So they were kind of ahead of their time on that as well.
Yeah, my dad had an 87 at one point, and I remember that had, like, the whole dash was all digital, and it was like, you know, it was ahead of the... I mean, there were other cars, I'm sure, that had it. Actually, Matt's mom had a Regal 87 around that time.
And his dad had
too.
And his dad had a Blazer.
With the same type.
With the same type. With those, again, looked like the old digital alarm clocks.
Right.
Yep. The Buick Riata had the...
That's the one. Yeah, the Riata.
The Riata had that CRT screen in the center. Do you guys remember that at
Oh,
all?
yeah, that's right.
And you could... there was... Because I worked for Buick for 11 years. I was an engine guy for them. And so you could get into that CRT screen, and you could actually... There was a secret way to get into, like, to show the engine data, like the readouts and stuff live while you're driving. So I would do that with customers. I would be driving down the road, and I would put it in that mode. And they're like, I've never seen that before. How'd you do that? And I wouldn't tell them,
right.
You know, because it was on the air conditioning screen. You would hold, I think, the off button and the fan button at the same time, and it would bring that up. And it was just a cool feature for helping diagnose those
pretty cool
back then. Yeah.
Could you put VHS on there and play it?
No,
CRT, you couldn't get in
no,
there.
it was green screen, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
It would look crappy then.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you...
Donkey Kong maybe.
If there were a fan button, you just press the fan button on me because I want to go. I'm now a fan of the Buick Riata.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
They had a horrible turning radius for such a short car. So you guys remember they were like the little 2-door car.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
But they steered like the Park Ave and the LeSabre and
of course.
That's
because they had the same rack and everything. But
right.
They were cool. You know, they were a cool car.
Yeah, I think Matt's mom's was a Regatta. Is that what they call it? One called a Regatta, or maybe hers was a Riata.
It was probably the Riata because back then I
A
think
regatta's a boat race.
Yeah, the Regatta. Yeah. Maybe it was a
Boats and
Regal.
hose.
Maybe I'm thinking of boats and hoses, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Well.
I'm thinking of the Regal. I don't know.
Who's to say? Now in the air, Cyrus the Virus concludes that they have a traitor in their midst when he's given a letter from Cameron's daughter that it had been in Cameron's personal effects. Odell takes the blame, claiming to be the traitor. Not surprisingly, Cyrus the Virus kills him. The helicopters are in hot pursuit, and the plane is damaged as Malloy insists on firing on it. Cameron takes swift command of the plane by making his way to the cockpit. His presence dissuades Malloy from firing on the plane any further. The plane was initially to land at McCarran International Airport, but the damage is too great, and it's forced to land on the Las Vegas Strip. After a remarkable crash landing, the plane comes to a halt and almost all of the convicts are taken into custody. Cyrus, Diamond Dog, and Swamp Thing escape in a fire truck, but are spotted by Cameron and Larkin, who give chase on police motorcycles. During an action-packed chase, Diamond Dog is killed by one of the motorcycles running into the rear of the truck. Swamp Thing is killed by being ejected from the cab, and Cyrus the Virus is killed at a construction site, having been flung from the truck and having his head crushed by a compactor. Cameron, now back at the scene of the casino where the plane had stopped, reunites with Tricia and meets his daughter face to face for the first time. Our movie ends with a scene of Garland Green with a drink in his hand, playing craps and feeling lucky.
Yeah, his daughter in that, we didn't really comment too much on that bunny. That bunny was like a huge part of the...
So let's unpack, shall we? So first things first, I want to unpack. Look, Jerry Bruckheimer, love you. Love your work since. But man, the scene of the body of the plane, like some at points like being, you know, put as it's pushing its way through, as we're to believe it's being pushed through
Vegas.
You can clearly tell that this thing is being pulled by something, like by some kind of, again, this is just a set.
Right.
There are points in this movie of this scene where it's actually slow, and it actually speeds up as it's like, how do I say this? Like it's moving on the screen slowly.
And then it picks up speed.
Yeah. Like, or it had been stopped and then somebody's just now dragging it a little bit further. Like it was, we could have done a little better on that.
So I did some research on it, and there was 3 planes used in the movie. One actually flew. The other 2 were not. They used that one that you were talking about in the Vegas scene. Was actually they took that plane body and put it on a bus chassis.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So they're driving that plane down. You know.
Oh wow.
Well, it's like well, I got to tell you, I think that bus chassis might have gotten stopped at a red light and then just kept on going.
It stopped and picked up again.
Dude, it is so clearly evident. But maybe that's nowadays, right? When you see that, because obviously there has been so much advancements in special effects.
I was going to comment too. I watched a little thing on the kind of like behind the scenes, and they built these little mini sets. So a lot of it was like mini, like, you know.
That tracks.
Yeah, they were like 1/16 scale. I don't know what scale it was, but it was smaller. So a lot of that, they don't even probably do that stuff anymore. Do you think? I mean, I think everything now is CGI and like digital,
sure.
Like, you know what I mean? I can make a AI video that looks better than.
No, there are still purists out there.
I like that.
That
stuff,
absolutely still do it that way. That will build the
mini sets,
sets with absolute pristine articulation on that.
I wonder where that stuff goes. Like if there's a market for that. You
Sure.
could buy like little.
Oh my
parts and
God,
scenes
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, you could think about the what's that goddamn ship from the Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah.
So that, I mean, so that's a thing, and there was probably at least one that was used. I should know there was at least one, if not more, that was used in the making of those movies. That was just a little thing. I'm sure that's millions of dollars for that one little piece of the set.
Snowman got a cool story about Millennium Falcon, right? Isn't it like a model or something?
You're talking about
your buddy or
the
something?
Lou Pearlman one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my buddy Larry was a window tinner, and he got called out to do Lou Pearlman's limo. This is back in the Backstreet days, you know. So he goes to Lou Pearlman's.
We are vastly familiar with Lou Pearlman.
Yeah, I know you guys did a thing on it.
Pod on it.
Yeah,
there's a podcast within this podcast. If you scroll back enough, ladies and gentlemen, you'll find at least a 2-parter on Lou Pearlman.
Lou Pearlman, yeah.
Yeah, so he had a guy that worked for him. He called it, my buddy Larry called him his do boy. So he would go around just doing things for Lou Pearlman. He got a call to retint the limo. They were putting a new bar in the limo, and they scratched the window with the tint. So he had to go out to his house and retint it. So he gets out there and he does the window. He goes inside Lou's mansion, and there's a Millennium Falcon, it was either Millennium Falcon or X-Wing, I can't remember. Might have been the Millennium Falcon in his foyer, like life-size huge thing hanging from his ceiling.
That makes sense. Why wouldn't it?
So I said, so Lou
probably an X-Wing though. It's probably an X-Wing.
I think it was an X-Wing, but it could have been the Millennium Falcon.
Because that's so big. The Millennium Falcon is so big.
Yes, it's huge. So, so fast forward, Lou Pearlman gets in trouble. Right, he goes down. And I said, call his do boy. I wanna buy that thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could probably get it for a steal, like $1,000 or something.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
I'll just put it in the garage.
Yeah, dude. At the time, everything must go. He was just looking for cash.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great story.
That would have been awesome. So you think I was like actually from the movie sets, or
probably so? Yeah.
That's
how much money has that guy had?
True. Yeah, he's just blowing it everywhere. He had money, but yeah, definitely. I saw a thing on this, and there were those mini sets. So it got me thinking, like, I wonder what they do with that stuff. Like, I'm sure they auction it off, or people that are working on it take home a piece. You know what I mean?
So for sure, and we've seen, with all the movies we've done, we've seen that before, where there are parts of the set that are given to certain people. Like you'll get the car, like major star, you'll get the car. Like Arnold Schwartz, let's say Terminator 2 or Terminator 1. Arnold, you get the motorcycle,
right,
or and then somebody else, you get the robot arm or some shit like that. But yeah, for damn sure that stuff exists.
That's wild.
They that crash scene was at the Sands Hotel in Vegas.
Oh,
They filmed it there. They were getting ready to demolish that hotel.
Yeah.
And so they were able to get in there and do a lot of that explosive stuff in there.
Oh yeah, I did see that. They were
like
actually scheduling that.
Yeah, it's like doing them a favor.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was pretty cool to see,
Speaking of explosions, didn't we just recently blow up the 19th Street Bridge?
Yes.
On 83.
That was yesterday, I think.
That was this morning at 3 a.m.
Wonder if they filmed any of that for like special effects for movies and stuff.
They might have. I found a video of it on the internet.
Oh, did you?
I'm happy to share it with you.
You have to send it to me.
So Cyrus the Virus.
Mm-hmm.
So his ultimate demise was somehow, some way. Now let's remember in this movie. So Cameron handcuffs him to the way end of a ladder truck, because it's a fire truck, but it's a ladder truck. Handcuffs him to the way end of it that's would ultimately be erected, raised up, which they do. So he gets hit by this building as they go, or an underpass or a walkway, a causeway that's going over the road,
right?
Which is very commonplace in Vegas. That would have absolutely killed him. There is no chance he would have survived that. Let alone, how could he have possibly gotten ejected off of that ladder without leaving his arm
behind?
Still clung to that damn handcuff.
Maybe he still had the pin from the plane.
But that notwithstanding, to see him finally land in just this magical, perfect place where all of a sudden this compactor's coming down crushing things, and it just happens to crush his head.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. It was cheeky. It was whatever. But I was, in the end, happy to see Cyrus the Virus finally killed.
That's that Bruckheimer magic.
That is Bruckheimer magic.
They weren't leaving it open, were they, for him to return?
No.
No chance.
No chance.
I got it, and I will certainly admit, so we were talking about the bunny. Mm-hmm. Like, make a move and the bunny gets it. Or
that was important.
The bunny was very important. Put the bunny down.
Put the bunny back in the box.
That's it. Put the why didn't you just put the bunny back in the box, Mama? She was a real smart lady. I gotta admit, I got a little not teary, but I definitely got choked up at the end.
The daughter.
Yeah. And you got to think about it. Like this this little girl has never seen her dad before. She's only ever corresponded with him via pen pal, just letters back and forth.
Stuff,
she has a picture of him that he's in, his class A's. He's got a good haircut, whatever. She hasn't heard his stupid voice. And so her first meeting of him is he's covered in dirt. He's all greasy, whatever. His janky, awful, terrible Jesus on a bad day haircut. And then just to hear that voice and to get that dingy, wet bunny that he just yanked out of the sewer.
Thanks, Dad.
By saying, thanks, Dad. I mean, that you could see her hesitation. You could absolutely see her hesitation. Like, Jesus Christ, is this what I've been waiting for?
Yeah, do I know this guy?
But it was absolutely touching that despite all of that, no matter what, she saw her dad and was like, oh, my God, I've been waiting for you my entire life, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And, the embrace and all that good stuff. That was
good.
It was really, really touching.
And
I enjoyed that.
The song came back on it.
And then the song. If we're going to talk about the song, we might. Oh, before we talk about the song, I did love that last ending with Garland Green with Steve Buscemi playing craps. He's like, yes, I am feeling lucky.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Great,
yeah.
Just great.
So that could have had a sequel after that with that guy.
Sure.
Movie, yeah.
Garland Green Air. Who knows?
I guess it's time for Fun Facts.
Ooh, one of my favorite segments.
All right, Snowman, you want to lead us off with some fun facts?
Yeah, I'll give it a try. So the song that was used for the movie was originally recorded by LeAnn Rimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess Disney at the time, I think that's who was the owning...
The company.
Yeah, the owning company of the movie. So they thought that her version was a little too pop-like.
Popish.
Yeah, popish, and she was very young. They thought
14, right?
Yeah, 14 at the time. So they asked Trisha Yearwood to do it, to sing it for the movie, and she did, and they released it with Trisha's version of the song. And so, but then I guess the labels wanted LeAnn Rimes. They released it as well because they had the rights to it at the same time. So they released her version out on pop radio and Trisha's out on country radio. And from what I read, they both were respectful about it, the two artists, but the record labels were having some issues with it. And then they came up for, the Grammys came up, and they both were nominated at the same time for the same song.
For the same song.
Same song, same category, which was the first time in history
who did it better. One of them deals.
And I didn't go as far as to see who
actually won.
Yeah, because I hated this movie.
I was going to say, I think I'm pretty sure Trisha Yearwood won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Fun fact on that, my wife told me before we recorded, she's married to Garth Brooks.
That is correct.
I didn't know that.
That is correct.
Trisha
Are they still together, though? Because
that I don't know.
Yeah, there's a thing on the internet saying he's a serial killer. So
for real?
every town he plays in, someone dies. And so
for real?
Yeah, so they're
dude, that's a good movie.
It's a whole thing going on. Yeah, that would be cool.
We should do that.
I want to retract that thing about Trisha Yearwood winning the Grammy.
Okay.
So I know when it came Oscars time, this won for like best song or something in the Oscars, and that would have been Trisha Yearwood's.
Okay, maybe it was the Oscars.
But I totally remember this song, and this song, be it Trisha's or be it Leanne Rimes' version, dominated the radio for like a long time. And I mean, dude, hugely popular song. Like people, for a few years after, this was like their wedding song.
Oh yeah, I believe
for a lot of people. So obviously, this movie came out in summer of '97. That would have been the Trisha Yearwood release.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Leanne Rimes recording was released later in the year. That song of Leanne Rimes' version sat on Billboard. It hit number 2, and it sat there for 5 weeks from late '97 into early '98. I mean, dude, huge. And not for nothing, Leanne Rimes back in the day, I mean, she was like I don't want to say Taylor Swift level,
yeah, I hear you,
but
though.
she was like at least Madonna level.
Well, I know, like, I'm not a country music fan, but I was well aware of her, Leanne Rimes.
For sure.
My wife is a country music fan, so I guess maybe through her, but I didn't remember that this song was from the movie, and I didn't remember there were 2 versions.
Right.
So that was cool to learn.
Yeah, man. And again, it's funny to look back on Leanne Rimes. Like when you're there, you just always think that they're older than you.
Yeah.
Like she was born in '82.
Yeah, she's younger. Yeah.
I had no idea she was younger than me. No idea.
Yeah.
That she went on to sell like 48 million albums, and she's had more than 40 singles.
Damn.
That's huge. That is huge.
Bigger than Busta Rhymes.
Probably much bigger than Busta Rhymes.
You got something, Zach?
I got something. The role of Cameron Poe, I'm a big fan of the coulda, woulda, shouldas, or who could have otherwise played. This role was offered to Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell for that lead. Both of them declined because, probably to Sean's agreement, they hated the script.
They didn't like it.
No.
That's another thing I noticed. Was this one of the first movies, like, I look back to like my childhood and stuff. It was always Stallone, Arnold, like these big alpha male as like lead characters in like these action movies. Was this the start of like normal dudes in action movies? You know what I mean? Like Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible was after this, right? Or right around this time.
I mean, Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't really that like big alpha male type dude. You know what I mean? But I'm just thinking, like, I wonder if they went that route because it was cheaper. Like, you think you make this movie with Stallone, his budget's got to be bigger.
Sure.
Than Nick Cage.
Sure.
I would imagine. But I'm just trying to think when that change happened. Because most of the action movies were all the big heavy hitters, you know, those guys. So
I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was trying to find out how much they paid Nicolas Cage for this movie. But from what unless you guys found it, I couldn't find it.
I did not.
It said it was undisclosed amount.
It wasn't.
So
were you going to try to raise money to have him not be in it?
Yeah. I would like to have it recast. And then just completely scrub that movie from
digitize
history.
it.
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know what he made on this, but you said what, he didn't get paid for Raising Arizona, you heard?
Yeah,
maybe?
I read that he was supposed to get $100,000 for Raising Arizona, and he'd never gotten paid for it or something like that. But at the time, they said his movies were going for $20 million is what he was getting paid.
Oh, so that's probably right on what he made for this. But I'd imagine Stallone or Kurt Russell would have been a lot more money. So
you think Kurt Russell though? Because I mean,
I don't know. Soldier was out back then.
I mean, you had Soldier, you had
Big Trouble in Little China.
Well, that you had Escape from L.A.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was Snake, but not
Snake
Vargas.
Plissken.
That's
Snake,
it.
Yeah.
And then was he in the Poseidon Adventure back then? But that was early '80s, I think, or late '70s.
He might have been.
I think he was the lead in that, wasn't he?
I remember Gene Hackman being in that.
Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe I'm way off on that. I could have sworn Gene Hackman was in that. What do I know?
So I got one here. John Malkovich chose Con Air over the lead role in Air Force One.
As in, he would have been Harrison Ford's?
Yes.
Huh.
He chose this.
I think he would have been pretty good in that.
I could have seen him in that. I thought he was, I guess I looked him up. He's like 44 in this, Malkovich, but he's supposed to be 39. But he looked good in it, man. He looked like a young guy.
Oh, for sure.
It's crazy. Like, I was watching the movie. I'm like, everybody looks young.
Yeah.
In it, you know what I mean? But I guess it is almost 30 years ago. So
I always liked Malkovich. I thought he was a cool actor.
Yeah.
He was all right. Nicolas Cage was 33 in the movie, I think.
In this one?
Yeah, his age was.
And he had to be on something, right? Were we talking about that?
We were.
To get that big?
My stepson, I tried to get him to watch it with me.
Maybe he just ate a lot of chicken and broccoli. Who knows?
Could have been.
Probably a lot of chicken and broccoli.
Yeah.
But he started watching it with me, our stepson Will, and he said, how old is this guy? Is he old? Is he young? I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to tell.
All right, I got one. Oh, damn it. I'm reminded now. I was going to bring a prop. So the pistol so if we recall on the plane, there was that planted DEA agent that was playing the part of a prisoner. He was faking being a prisoner, and he had a gun in his ankle.
Right.
That Malloy had stashed on him. That gun is a C-Camp. The make of that gun is a C-Camp. It's a .32 caliber. In reality, it's no bigger than the palm of your hand. Mm-hmm. That was the first pistol I ever purchased.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I still have
the one
it.
in the movie then?
Yeah, still have it. And I was going to bring it just to show you how small that thing is, but they're awesome. And as a matter of fact, many, 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 many members of law enforcement carry that as their backup. Like that's their that's their go-to. If things go, if I lose this one and I lose my other one, like that's my last ditch. That's the one I got, and that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What you got, Snowman?
What else I got going on here? I think I already told you guys about they had 3 planes
that
were used in the making of it, and of course this whole movie sent me down the I hate Nicolas Cage route. So he had gone through a lot of money in his time. They said he spent I think it was $150 million between 2000 and 2007 buying houses and buying cars, exotic fleet of cars, and he even bought a castle that I guess he had never spent the night in and had it refurbished and stuff like that. So from what I read, it led him down the road of where he had to take these lesser roles for lesser money later in life just to help pay off some of this debt, because I guess he was living, but he wasn't paying the IRS because Uncle Sam wants his share of it. Yeah, and so, which I could see it. That would be tough doing all these movies. He later went on to sue his manager for I guess maybe not paying the IRS and stuff like that.
Sure, oh wow,
sure.
So just after Con Air sent him down that road of just like,
yeah, they said he could have comfortably done. What was the one with the Declaration of Independence?
Oh, National Treasure. Love that movie.
Yeah, they could have kept going with that, and he, making 20 or 30 million each off of that, but he just had to take these other shitty roles just to pay off his debts.
Just
and
to
stuff.
pay.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's so sad.
Like Wesley Snipes, wasn't he in some trouble for some stuff like that?
Same.
That's crazy. Fun fact, low-flying aircraft used during filming alarmed Las Vegas residents, prompting numerous calls to police. So I guess that was setting off like alarms. People were like, what's going on? Why are they filming it? But I know they did film a lot of stuff in like near Salt Lake City, Utah. That's where a lot of the aerial stuff happened. They said it was more to do with like the directors wanted it because of the scenery and stuff, and I guess it just looked cool when they were filming it. So
look what I learned today.
Yeah,
these truly are fun facts.
And also, Dave Chappelle improvised much of his dialogue during filming, which I can believe. He's a funny guy.
Sure,
he probably comes up with it like real quick.
I kind of thought he's kind of stole the show there. Like
I think
he was really good.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's and I thought so too, but I was wondering just because I love Chappelle so much, or if I'd really liked him in the movie. I didn't remember, like I said, from back then, but watching it now, I'm like, oh shit, Chappelle.
Yeah, he did
what
a great
big
job.
Star, yeah.
For a secondary role, he did a great job.
Right. You guys got any other fun facts? We good?
I'm fresh out.
No, I'm good.
So I guess it's time to late fee, return, or burn. Sean, you're familiar with this, right? This is where
Oh, for sure.
Okay, cool. So, Zap, do you want to lead it off since this is coming from...
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, watching this movie, this is probably something I might have seen bits or pieces of that was, again, randomly on television here and there, but I haven't watched it the whole way through, probably since the late 90s. I'm reminded of those types of movies that, like you were talking about, Dave, like where they were action movies, but they weren't necessarily with heavy hitters as the main actor, as the expected, Arnold, Stallone, you name it, as the main guy, even Chuck Norris, for Christ's sake. So, but this did remind me of that ilk of 90s movies that just had that feel to them, like Jurassic Park or this, or another Nicolas Cage movie, The Rock, or Air Force One. Like, they just all had that feel to them. So it was good to go back to that feel, which, again, vastly different from like an 80s feel, or vastly different from anything from like the 2000s on, like once the Matrix hit, right? Anything from there. So this was a good trip down memory lane. Absent Nicolas Cage's awful accent incorporated into his role, I thought this was a fun movie. As you mentioned, like, it's action packed. I mean, it's explosions and things blowing up and people dying and all kinds of crazy shit. Having the vast number of cast and characters in this movie really helped to make the movie, I think, more enjoyable on a number of different levels. Like, you're not just focused on Cameron Poe, right? Or you're not just focused on Cyrus. Like, you got a bunch of different people in here. So with all that in mind, between late fee, return, or burn, I would definitely return it, but I would watch the hell out of this before I send it back. Like, I'm borderline late fee on this for the action, for the fun, and for the whatever. But it's probably Nick Cage's awful accent incorporated into this that would make me want to return it on time.
I got you. Snowman, you want
to? I think you guys already know I'm going to burn it. So.
Oh, you're going to burn it?
I'm gonna.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to melt it down.
Oh my word!
Wow.
I would have loved to have seen Stallone or Kurt Russell in that part.
Is it strictly a Nicolas Cage thing, or is it just okay?
Look, that was the best response I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't know. He's cringy to me. I look at him. Everything.
That's so funny.
He's just so freaking cringy.
Oh
to
my
me.
God, that's so funny.
If you had to pick any is there any Nicolas Cage movie that you would like that wouldn't burn? No.
Dude, Dave, he doesn't even let you finish the sentence. The answer is no.
Damn.
F. Nicolas Cage, says Sean.
So we know every movie we do with Nicolas Cage now.
We got to have Sean in there.
Snowman's got to be in.
That's right.
I don't know. I just
didn't like. Yeah, so he ruined it for you, basically.
Yeah, basically. I'll see it come on, on TV, and I'm like, God damn, Nicolas Cage.
I just want to throw my shoe at the television.
Yeah, I mean, he's just that way for me.
Oh my gosh.
I did know this going in because we talked the other day, but I didn't know it ran that deep.
Man, that is some.
Yeah, I got some
hate.
I got a lot of hate for that guy.
There's a foundation of hate.
I don't even know why. I don't know, cringy. I saw a video with him and Vince Neil. They were coming out of an airport or something, and they were going at it. Did you guys ever see that clip?
No, is that from Motley Crue, Vince Neil?
Yeah, I guess they were buddies, and they were going at it. They were fighting and stuff.
Oh, for real?
And I was like, beat his ass, Vince.
Go for it.
Kickstart his heart.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, but my wife loved. This is the only movie of Nicolas Cage's I think that she really enjoyed, and I think it was just because he was in good shape.
Just because he was building.
Yeah, and she said that scene where he comes out and the sun hits him and stuff. She just was like, "Oh, he's a really good looking guy." There, and I was like, "No, he's a piece of shit."
God damn. And I was gonna end this by saying, like, wow, I want to go home and I want to watch. Since we mentioned it, like National Treasure, loved that movie. Hell, I'll watch Raising Arizona again. I mean, just great. I could probably let The Rock just sit.
Yeah, but it's kind of like,
whatever. But damn, now I have to second think my whole life here.
Yeah, Sean's burning it.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent about Nicolas Cage. I thought this movie, I'm glad, like I said in the very beginning, I'm glad that she recommended. This is one I would have never watched again.
Right.
And I did think that it was actually held up pretty well. Like, I was like, man, it's a pretty decent movie. Like, I'm not loving it, but I was like, the action's good. It's just, the special effects weren't horrible.
Right.
It just doesn't give me that nostalgia of like an 80s movie.
Sure.
This is not old enough yet. There's not really that attachment to it. This is one of the first in a long. Have we done any other late 90s movies? This might be one of the newer ones that we've ever done.
This might be, might be the first one, because I don't remember us talking. Like, we haven't done Jurassic Park.
No.
We haven't done some of the big 90s hitters.
No, I think we did like maybe early 90s, like Dead Poet Society or one of those. But I'm going to return it. No late fee for me. I'm not going to burn it. I didn't think it was that bad, but I can understand there's people I dislike, and that, you know, I probably just want like a movie because they're in it, but not quite on that level. But I get it. I can understand it. But I'm glad I watched it because, like I said, I would have never watched this movie. I don't sit down and like go through channels anymore where I'd catch something.
Right.
And I'm not gonna go out of my way to like put any of these movies like Con Air on. Like, oh, I gotta go back and watch Con Air. Thanks to Kelly for recommending that. Yeah, I'm glad I watched it. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No thanks, Kelly.
No thanks, Kelly.
Jesus.
No late fee for me though, but yeah, definitely.
All right.
So we got 2 returns, 1 burn, no late fees.
Nope.
And I'm thinking Kelly would probably late fee this.
So this
she might buy it.
when I talk about just like when I had mentioned like the age of Leanne Rimes at the time. So she's approximately 6 years my junior.
Okay.
So with that, I can imagine Kelly knowing her age, that this for her would have been like 80s for us.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So this was, you know, you're at in those formative years. Like maybe this is something that you go see when you're hanging out with your family or hanging out with your brother or you're hanging out with your friends or you're doing whatever. Like this was, you know, a pivotal thing. Like for me, like when I went to see Coming to America in the theater, like that was awesome. And it's a memory I will have and cherish for the rest of my life.
Putting that on my level would be, because we're about the same, within months, is Terminator 2.
For sure.
That came out in 92, so, you know, 5 years before. And I can get that. So, yeah, I get it, man. But that was cool.
Yeah.
So, Sean, awesome job, man. You did great.
Yeah, dude. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
We appreciate it. I know Sean loves the show, man. He listens, so he knows it inside and out. So he knew what was up.
Yep.
But you did great, man. So we'll definitely be back with another episode. We're going to try to bang some episodes. So, you know, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, you guys got anything else in closing?
Yeah, can I just say that I don't really like Nick Cage.
I'm shocked. Why am I only just now hearing of this?
No, I'm just joking, guys.
All right, so don't forget to find us on Facebook and Instagram at Old Dirty Basement, on TikTok at Old Dirty Basement Podcast. Check out our other podcasts. You Might Be a Madman, and I guess that's it for now, so we'll catch you where?
On the flip side.
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Vintage Cinema Review in the Old Dirty Basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Old Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Old Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We Audi 5000.